internet of value at Ripple, we're thinking much bigger than just cross-border payments. It's kind of like Amazon with rare books in the early days, just this market happens to be a $10 trillion market.
We are at a historic turning point.
Said in the past that you are doing for money what email did for communication.
Moving the whole revolution forward.
Take on it.
There's trillions of dollars parked around the world. XRP.
Is there a possibility that Ripple could take over Swift one day?
Well,
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So, let's get right into today's video. The United Nations, the IMF, the WEF are trying to create a level playing field and have a scalable payment system. And Ripple and XRP are going to play a major role in the next financial infrastructure that is being created right now. Strap in for this one because we are going to go over some hardcore facts that you just cannot disagree with. There is an event coming up a couple weeks from now from the Digital Euro Association located in Frankfurt. John Kiff, ex-IMF member, will be attending it. There's a lot of high-level individuals attending this event. We have Deputy Division Chief from the IMF, Tao Sun. We have individuals from Goldman Sachs, the BS Innovation Hub, Ripple, and also SDX. If you guys recall, SDX and SBI established a joint venture in Switzerland. And in that same press release, SBI said, our group is also focused on strategic investments and partnerships with R3 and Ripple, and they're advancing their DLT technology with them. They're all in this together. There's a lot of non-disclosure agreements that we don't know about and we are not going to hear about until they're ready to announce it. This gets deeper because the IMF came out and verbally said that Bitcoin failed miserably. If you guys don't recall, listen.
So all those narratives involved three materializations of fintech. The first materialization is Bitcoin and the underlying technology that made it possible, which is the blockchain. Those were the boldest predictions and also the predictions that failed most miserably. The predictions that failed most miserably, the Bitcoin and blockchain. So the initial articles argue that transactions even would be able to be done instantaneously at a very tiny fraction of the original cost. Nowadays, we know that narrative did not pan out.
And that was Tito da Silva, and he's been working at the IMF for over 20 years. And take a listen to what Tao Sun says here.
Fintech has the potential to build up an ecosystem, a so-called platform, to link with different stakeholders, including traditional bank. So in this way, fintech can help reduce the cost, increase the speed, and expand the access. So we can see in some country, there is a new fintech using blockchain to send a remittance only in a couple of seconds. So this is a kind of way we see the potential for fintech to develop.
And it gets even better because here at the FinTech Festival in India, take a listen to what they said here, how they're slowly scaling it up and utilizing small countries and not big countries like India.
We are working with Ripple, XRP on their CBDC platform, and we are consulting small countries, not like India. So they are very advanced. We are already into the CBDC platform. We are consulting small countries as one of the advisory paper submission and everything on the CBDC, how they can move to CBDC.
Patience is going to pay off very handsomely to every single XRP holder out there. And now let's get deeper. Here we have Stefan from the UDPN, and here we have James Wallace from Ripple. But we're going to focus on UDPN here for a moment. So here we have the UDPN, the Universal Digital Payment Network. This is backed by the IMF, interoperable payment infrastructure for the digital currencies of tomorrow. Okay, interesting. Look at this. This is the United Nations, the UNDP, and look at this part. Cryptocurrencies in Africa, alternative opportunities for advancing the Sustainable Development Goals. MSMEs and cross-border trade can then have faster access to finance from banks and other financial institutions for securing liquidity for businesses. One example of this is Ripple's cryptocurrency XRP and its cross-border payment network for hundreds of financial institutions globally. XRP can bridge two local fiat currencies on either side of a cross-border transaction within 3 seconds at a small cost for financial institutions. Through Ripple's line of credit service, transactions can be completed using XRP at a locked-in exchange rate, and credit can be repaid later on convenient schedule through securing upfront capital for processing trade payments. That is monumental. And we have the same individuals here all working on this together. And if we continue on to this PDF, how Africa is leapfrogging into a digital payment future, look at this. We have Ripple expanding in Africa. Slowly but surely, this whole map will be through Ripple. Africa is focusing its attention on fintech for industry development and economic growth. Through clear regulatory guidance and greater adoption of crypto and blockchain technology, Africa is now positioned to be a global leader in digital asset landscape. We are just getting started. You can't make this stuff up. And take a look at this. This is huge. So one of the use cases, they're talking about KYC. The agency can then verify the customer's bank identity certificate through the bank's signature. Moreover, with the authorization granted from the bank to the agency's I'm going to break that down in a moment, the agency can even retrieve the encrypted KYC data package from the banking system via open source UDP DID Data Hub technology. DID is something that is coming to the XRP ledger. And then they also talk about digital currency transfer and swap. Listen to this. We are regularly adding new regulated stablecoins and future CBDCs into the network. Within the current UNDP sandbox environment, proof of concept participants can test stablecoins such as USDC on the Ethereum testnet, a decentralized CBDC prototype issued on the UDPN. And we know for 100% fact now that the BS Innovation Hub, the IMF, they've all tested Ethereum and it has failed. And if this is the first video you're watching on my channel, go watch my previous videos, but I'll leave the link to where they said it failed, and it is very recent and it will not be used 100%. I can put a lot of money on that. And here we have the XRP scan amendments, and this is what they're talking about. DID. It has not been enabled yet. I mean, Ripple hasn't even voted for it yet on the validators, so I wonder what's going on behind the scenes and how they're going to approach this. But let's continue on. Here we have the W3C, the decentralized identifiers. If you guys recall back in 2015, Ripple joined the W3C and establishing the Internet of Value Task Force. And look what they said here. The working group is co-chaired by Adrian Bale of Ripple and Nick Telford-Reid of WorldPay, and includes members from numerous stakeholders, including Bloomberg, the Federal Reserve. I wonder what's going on here. Here we have WorldPay. Now we're since 2015. Do you guys remember the WorldPay patent that just got granted last month? Systems and methods for payment transactions, alerts, dispute, settlement, and settlement payments using multiple blockchains. And listen to what they said here. This was just granted, folks. Various parties of a transaction, for example, consumers, issuers, merchants, and acquirers, may be a part of the Ripple network to be able to leverage this settlement system. In such embodiments, blockchain networks used for the processing of payment transactions like Ripple may be designed to comply with risk, privacy, and compliance requirements, and specifically designed for financial service industry with a number of banks/financial institutions already in the network. Ripple is creating a network of trust. How many times have I said this on this channel? Ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and smash that like button. Let's continue on. Here we have 2015, Ripple, when they joined the W3C, and listen to what they said here. We are currently building an identity system on top of Ripple's distributed ledger that stores KYC information, provides space for third-party attestation, which is very important because a third-party attestation can be done from the UNDP level and can manage any number of financials or other accounts. This is monumental. And jump to 2024, this IMF working paper that was just released called ASAP, a conceptual model for digital asset platforms. Listen to what they said here. Interoperability at scale across platforms requires the establishment of a common approaches and standards inspired by the success of the internet interoperability. And remember what, when the inception of Ripple and XRP, how they're trying to move value like we send emails today, right? And that's what they're pretty much summing up here. And the CBDC PDF that was published by Ripple, this speaks for itself. Currently, no universal agreed upon framework for CBDC interoperability exists. Establishing this will be buoy global adoption, usefulness, and may be essential to unlock consumer benefits and achieve financial inclusion targets. The World Economic Forum identifies generally accepted principles that must form the basis of an agreed upon set of CBDC interoperability standards. And these include standardization, openness and inclusivity, scalability, resilience, and business continuity, stakeholder collaboration, cross-border integration. And at the end of the day, it's all about establishing a clear regulatory framework, which Ripple has been doing since inception. And there's only a handful of individuals that are sophisticated and have intelligence to understand that. If you're impatient and you're being worried and every day you're losing sleep over XRP, you're not doing this right. We are pioneers. This asset class is 12 years old, to say the least, and this is going to outlive us. It's going to most likely outlive our grandkids, because I don't know I can't possibly imagine what kind of system would be implemented after blockchain. We could talk about quantum, but that could be a complementary thing where they could collaborate together. But blockchain is not going anywhere. Digital assets like XRP is not going anywhere. You can't just replicate another XRP and start a ledger. That's not how it works. You need a system that has been running for a long time, and they need to view its track record. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I do appreciate every single one of you guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and we'll be back with another video.
We started building RippleNet with the thesis that crypto liquidity would eventually be able to support robust global payments, large payments. RippleNet was designed so that customers seeing the benefits of our fiat-based network could flip the switch to ODL once the market was mature enough. And this is exactly what's happening. Flip the switch. I think what we're building has, it's solving a real problem. And I think all of the tokens, my advice to anybody would be, understand the utility. If there's real utility and there's real value being delivered to a real customer, there will be value in the token.